Hey, you're back. Yes. You can tell I'm excited. I love teaching this. So it's just, I just love that you are continuing to invest this time in yourself and go through this. And let's get into it. I'll stop talking so we can get to the heart of the training. Here we go. Okay, nurture the nature of your life. So the reflection of this, a reflection in this, when was the last time that you made time for yourself? Like truly. And this is a question that you want to add to if you journal or drop it into your calendar to ask yourself every couple of weeks or month or quarter, whatever. But and when I say time for yourself, this isn't time with the kids or time like with your partner or something. This is time that's solely for you. Even if it's like the last time you did this was a commuter bath, which is kind of this work from home thing that I've learned about, where you do your work at home during the day. You take this like glorious bath if you dig baths, and then that's the transition into your non-work part of your day. So the last time I made time for myself was walking through Stockholm, because where I'm on a visit, and just enjoying the architecture while trying to walk over the cobblestone road. So anyway, making time for yourself, it could be major or it could be something as simple as going to your favorite part in the park and just sitting on a bench and just being there. So that's something to think about. Again, making time for yourself. That's a mental wealth deposit. You're building these little things constantly and constantly, because there are going to be challenging times in your life, as you saw in as you look through your life map in the Mind Your Matter first section. So now we're going to go to the practice of your ideal life, which is in this section. Again, making time for yourself. In the comments, type in what's your favorite beverage to like chill to and like get creative to, or which one of your favorite beverages to do that to. So making space for yourself, being present. Your presence is the present to you. In informing yourself and being connected to yourself, knowing that if something is stirring up, if you need to pause, step away. This is technology. This stuff will be back here. Like you've paid, you're in. So now like you can watch this at your pace, as needed. And then our flow today, nurturing the nature of your life, thinking your ideal life. So let's jump into how you're feeling. If you're still trucking through this, are you feeling a little tired? Are you even more excited than when you started? Is your mind blown? Are you doing this at the end of the day? So you're kind of tired. If you're kind of tired, take a break. Go sleep or go watch your favorite Netflix show. Come back to this. Because I want you to be like, when you're working through this, you need to be as in tuned as possible. And being tired, you may miss something, or you may not have the insight into yourself that you would have if you're rested. Okay, we're finishing up again. This first half is really about you. Even though the ecosystem, if you noticed, even on the ecosystem section, yes, there were parts where I talked about like family. Observationally, it was just those are the people in my family node, but it was me looking at the ecosystem of my life. It wasn't diving into the intricacies of what's happening with my brother or my dad or what's happening with Nate and his family. No. This is about my ecosystem and about your ecosystems. So now we're looking at nurturing the nature of your life. And we're finishing out, as you can see, that we've done Mind Your Matters, the builder, be the ecologist, and nurturing the nature. So let's just step back for a second. Let's take a look at this. So nurturing, caring, growth, development of something, nurture relationships, nurture a lot of things. But it's truly like the basics is caring and encouraging the growth and development. You taking this training, you're nurturing yourself, you're nurturing your mind, you're nurturing your emotions, you're nurturing your mental wealth, you're nurturing your mental wealth. But the nature is the kind of the inherent features, right? And the characteristics. What I love about nurturing the nature is it's you taking care of you. And when I think of like the gifts or the little meme things that you can do here, none other than the character played by Kerry Washington, the phenomenal Kerry Washington, is the show Scandal, and Olivia Pope, based off of a real person. This character was like, something's coming up, it's handled. And so when you're looking through this, you're handling your business, the business, and you're handling you. You're nurturing you, and you're nurturing the nature of you. And so when you think about this, the power, the strength, the courage, the wisdom, the creativity, the strategery, yes, that's a word, of all of it, you're nurturing the nature of you, and it's handled. And so that's what I really want you to get in and just get excited about you. And so starting with this, we're going to take and have some fun with this. And some folks, sometimes this may be slightly challenging, but I want you to pause. Like we're going to pause in this action one, practice one. And what I want you to do is just take a couple of minutes and think of your ideal life, a day in your ideal life, and not perfect. And when I say ideal, it's like, where would you wake up and what activities would you start during your day? See, ideal, not perfect. Ideally, I would have said that right the first time. Or perfect, I would have said it right. Ideally, you still understood what I said. So what type of work you're doing, the characteristics of the people you work with, like that kind of thing, from when you wake up, when you start your day to when you in your day go to sleep. Set your timer and take like 3 minutes, no more, no less. Well, about 3 minutes, no more than 5, and just write out a day in your ideal life. So go ahead and do that. Hit pause, and then we'll come back to the next step. All right, welcome back. So just to give you a little example, in my ideal life, some of the highlights were I live between 2 homes in the US and then in a country where I own a villa, it's in Olive Grove, a villa, 8 to 10 room villa, but a place that instead of spending $250,000 or $300,000 on a home in the United States, I'd spend more of that on a home that's outside the United States that includes an Olive Grove and a villa. And I wake up, I'd spend some quality time with myself first to fill my cup, and then with my partner if she's there. She may be business trip or making quality time for herself. So after that, I come back and learn from the team that runs the villa, so I can learn to be a better cultivator and nurture the grove, and then connect with my team for my overall business, who all of them are living in different parts of the world. And I say this is my ideal life, a day in my ideal life. Your ideal life, totally different. Your ideal life, as we started at the beginning, no one has ever lived your life. No one will ever live your life, down to everything that's happened. So when you think of your ideal life, there's nothing wrong, unless you're doing harm to other people. But your ideal life is what it is. And you'll understand this as we go through. And so when you have your ideal life, in order to nurture your ideal life, we look to look at the gaps between your ideal life and your current life. And then when we looked at like your ecosystems and how you spend your time, now we're looking at where you need to shift your energy and your efforts, to move from your current life, which is here. You're 100% living your current life, and you're maybe 10 or 20% living your ideal life. And so over time, you're going to be living 100% of your ideal life, and then none, or maybe very small percentage of whatever your current life is in the future. So thinking through this, an example is when I looked at part of my life. So thinking back to remember the nodes of your ecosystem, your team, where I live, so work and home. My ideal life is right in that center column. And then my current life, yes, I have me and some collaboration partners, but I don't have eight employees. I don't have that yet. And then I currently home is in Portland, Oregon. Phenomenal place. I love living there, but it's not my final US place. And I say Greece or Italy, but really it could be anywhere along the Mediterranean, including, that's why I mentioned Morocco earlier, that where I can like potentially grow olives. So the nurture part is, again, you made the system here, or made the columns here. The nurturing is saying, oh, in order for where I live today and need to move, so I need to start exploring things. And how I would do that is to start exploring other countries, right? So putting my time into what would it take to own a villa? What does a villa cost? What are all the things that need to happen? And so when you're thinking through this, and looking at the gaps, I'm sorry, I keep going back and forth. So looking at this, you're like, where I live today, where I want to live, and what steps do I need to go there? And so understanding like, oh, I need to start doing X, Y, and Z to move toward my ideal life. And the reason why I had you write it down earlier, because as you start to evolve this, your ideal life, a day in your ideal life could be like a whole page long, or maybe 3 pages. And what you'll do, 2 bonus things you can do are reading it and recording it, and if you like, think of your favorite song, the lyrics you can, word for word. What about the song of your life? Like the song that is your life. It's like this audio recording, if that's your jam, or video recording, or just writing it out every day, like copying it and recopying your words. But the whole thing is to repeat until it's ingrained in your mind, so your subconscious is working on this. And the other key with this and how this kind of fits into your life is that working on making this your mantra helps you understand what you need to be doing that's aligned with your ideal life, instead of the life you're living. So that's the nurturing the nature. And next up, no one gets anywhere alone. And self-made, the only part of self-made that is self-made is your efforts, because otherwise you have to interact with people in the world that are your team, that are your clients, that are your customers, that are your church members, that's your community group member. Like, you're interacting with other people to move you up to whatever success looks like for you and the ideal life looks like for you. So in order to get there, you have to have the right people around you. And so now, as we make this transition into being involved with other people, or attracting the right people, we'll see you in the next section. Thanks so much for, again, making time for yourself and making time to go through this training.